Hello, hello. Welcome to Core Office Hours 44. And always in so many languages, bienvenidos, ni hao, bonjour. Um, we have people here from everywhere, from the Philippines, from Panama City, from Los Angeles, from I don't know where Jeremiah, we need to add a dot in Southwest. You're in Sedona. Every time I talk about Sedona, I think about Sedona, I'm like, oh my God, that'd be a really great retreat. All over the world. And our mission is to empower creative leaders, the folks here attending, to transform, the businesses in their place, in their world, and where they are, and to design a better future together. The impact of design. As always, core Q, our agenda is always pretty simple. It is, we drop in core QA questions. Anybody might have some questions. Today, we're coming back from a 2-week break. So it's kind of getting it back and rolling. And Core Office Hours is always brought to you by Core 3.0, a step-by-step design strategy framework, which got updated recently. And Lorraine Molina, who's here, really helped me out get all the PDFs updated. There's a lot of new content in it, and I still have a little bit more work to do to update the videos and to add an introduction video to it. Got a new camera, so that might be a good use of the camera. And core discovery is really the ability to define the brand essence, who you are, users, and goals all together. And last night we had a really great conversation about, or we've had great conversations here in Panama when Pape shares how he uses it, and with our community and with friends when we're hanging out, which is always amazing. One note, Pape, from my birthday dinner on Monday, my friend that I invited was like, based on your testimonial, they were like, oh, I want to do core now. It was really funny, just from the dinner. And it wasn't like you were doing a formal testimonial. You were just talking about it and the impact. So I'm Jose Caballero, and I do have a written statement of who I am, which I should probably bring up. And this is part of my here we go. I'm a designer, creative director, and brand alchemist. I've worked at global agencies and boutique firms and on creative, for creative, it's a weird word, and on design, right? I've worked on design for some of the world's biggest brands. I created the core discovery framework and to facilitate, to align, to understand your client's business and brand, and really to define and focus deliverables. It's basically a way to give you a locus of control, especially for people like me that are very creative and have a hard time keeping a through line on projects. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It's kind of like the Mikey thing from the 80s. My goal is to help you level up, gain the confidence you need to earn more and work smarter. Hopefully that makes sense. Here's today's drop-in. The drop-in. Name, location, what you do. And the question for today is, if you were to perform in the circus, what would you do? Here we go. My name is Jose Caballero. I am in Panama City, Panama, in a very, very beautiful day. The sun came out. What do I do? Like I just said, I'm a designer, creative director, brand alchemist, and I guess I'm a raconteur. And if I were to perform in the circus, what would I do? I was thinking about this question, and there was everything from like, I would like to do the elephant things, but that's kind of so sad because the poor elephants are in the cage. Then I thought, well, the clown car, when all the little clowns come out and like, that would be a nice one to do. But I realized that my favorite position in a circus is the ringmaster, just like having the whole thing go around and, hosting basically the crazy, but not necessarily being in it, just like introducing in this corner, from the uncharted lands of Panama City, Pape, and that's me passing it on to Pape for your dropping.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pape. I'm an artist and co-founder of Tropic Apparel, that is a Latin brand, and I'm in the mission to build the next one of the top 10 brands of Latin America direct to consumer in e-commerce. That's what I'm doing right now. And if I were to perform in a circus, I think I would be the guy in a cannonball. Just like, because I love to take action and just like get things done. So I think I would be that guy that just gets into a cannon and like it shoots straight away. Yeah, that would be me. So, and I shoot fast.
Thanks, Pape. I'm Patricia Maliksi. I'm from Manila, Philippines. Currently, I am coordinator, and if I were to perform in a circus, I'd probably be the one who's, I think it's a trapeze, that you kind of like hold on to bars. I don't know what it is personally, but I feel like it's something about like the strength, mental strength to like, because I feel like that's so hard. First of all, physically and mentally. So that's it. I'm complete. I choose Lorraine.
Hi, everyone. What were the questions again? Can you put back the screen? Because that was.
Oh, yes, I can definitely put back the screen. Here we go. Here we go. There are some questions right there.
Name, I'm Lorraine Molina. I am in Los Angeles, California. It's cold this morning. I am what am I? That's a really good question. I always ask myself that question. I'm just gonna say I'm an interdisciplinary creative. My day job is UX. If I were to perform in the circus, what would I do? I would probably be outside the circus protesting against animal abuse, because that's just the kind of person I am. I'm pro animal. I feel sad for all the creatures in the circus. That's me.
So literally you would be outside protesting. That would be your.
I mean, like, free the elephants, free the bears, free everybody. Give them better homes.
I love that. Choose somebody.
Oh, okay. I choose Ava.
Hi, I'm Ava, or now that everyone knows my true identity, Andrea. No, I'm kidding.
No.
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 That was a secret. I'm Ava also. I'm from Venezuela, and right now I'm speaking from Miami, visiting some family. And who I will be at the circus? Well, because I'm a person who likes to do multiple things, I will be the contortionist, and I would also be the one bringing the innovation and trying to bring the people who are protesting, bringing some ideas as to, hey, maybe the animals can be digital. Cool. And we can create an entire background and, you know, create our own characters. They don't have to be animals. So,
yay.
That's awesome. How to create community, basically, like even have
one question already answered from the chat. No, I'm kidding.
No, but that's a really good topic, and I'm happy to have that conversation. Choose somebody, Ava.
I'll choose Brian.
Thank you, Ava, Andrea. Now that we know. My name is Brian Jimenez. I'm from Los Angeles, California, near Los Angeles, California. I'm the founder of Archimedes Strategic Branding. I help innovative organizations compete in competitive landscapes to differentiate and to help them manage their brands through strategic and creative leadership. I'm a brand strategist and a designer and I podcast producer and host. If I was a circus performer, I think I would be the guy who puts his head, you know, the mouth of the lion, who's, he in a way tames the lion, but in a way has a respect for the lion's power. But it takes a little bit of risks here and there. I think that would either that or the janitor who picks up the peanut shells on the ground. One of those two. I pick John.
Good afternoon. My name is John Otero. I am currently in Richmond, Virginia, and I am a creative director at a web design agency that specializes in search engine optimization, content strategy, brand strategy, and website design. When it comes to a circus role, I would probably think of myself as the ringmaster. Somebody that can show and guide the audience, whether internal or external, through the experience, whatever that experience may be from a deliverable standpoint and overall customer experience. And I choose Ginder.
Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you, John. My name's Jinder Sahel, and I'm based in London, and I'm a UX designer for a startup. This is a good question. What role I'd play in a circus? I guess like when I was little, I think the circus came around. My memories, it was a long time ago, but there was like clowns on stilts promoting the circus, and I had to be lifted up and up and up towards the clown or the person on stilts. So I like to do that. It'll make me taller and see the bigger picture, and wake the town and tell the people to come to the circus. The circus is, if I ever been to any kind of those shows, they've been kind of like punk circuses. So there's like alternative circuses out there without the animals. And one I've seen is like I'm impressed with is like a show with the motorbikes on this. They have to go into a cage like a ball and round, and they keep adding more people up to 4 or 5, which is crazy. It's like, yeah, and then the lights go down and their bikes light up as well. So it's like, are you crazy? But they do that. So yeah.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Like the crazy punk rock circuses and the motorcycles and like all the motorized things like doing. Oh, I love those. One bike, two bikes,
they're
three
out
bikes.
there. Do you know the names of because the one I went to was Archaeos, and I can't remember the motorbike ones, but they're out there.
I don't remember it, but they're out there. Circuses are fun. This is a really good drop-in question. And again, you don't have to join on stage. You can also do the drop-in question in the chat. So the question is your name, location, what you do, and if you were to perform in a circus, what would you do? So Hein, you don't have to join on stage, but it's really nice to have you here. Back from our 2-week or 2-session break. It's almost a month, and missed you guys. It feels weird when we don't do core office hours. Or when we don't gather as a community, which I like the name gathering, like just system gathering every 2 weeks or every week, where we come to decompress on a Friday. So here are the rules for core Q&A for just asking questions, sharing. It might be core related, it might be not, it might be about your practice. Growth is currently the topic that Pape brought up. So if you have answers for him, and Pape, you can post a question, but the sharing rules are, you can't give advice. Hey, you should do this. That's bad. But you can say, hey, here are a few ways I've done it or I've seen done. And that makes it a little bit less easy or a little bit less difficult. It makes it easier, basically. And then speak from the I, only share your primary or secondary experience. I've done it this way. I've seen it done this way. I would do it this way is actually valid point, how to say it. And those are the sharing rules. So basically, Pape, do you want to talk a little bit about your growth questions, and then everyone can, we can start with that one.
Yes, I guess like on where I'm right now with Psychotropic is that it's first time that I've been able to work full time on the brand, but with that comes that there's a lot of objectives to be accomplished every month, and basically it's impossible for me as one person to keep the system running because even if I can do a lot, it's not sustainable and it just keeps breaking all the time. So for me, it's like my question would be, how can I lead? Because I don't want to be like whipping, like be the guy like whipping everyone. Because I'm on a mission now. I'm on a mission like to create a big brand, but mostly I want to have an impact in people and in the culture here in Panama and around the world. So it's like, how can I inspire people to work with me and help me like appropriate of those objectives and the challenges that we're facing in Psychotropic? Because right now it's one me and me, and I take full responsibility. I don't just want people to get things done, but I want them to get on board with the mission. That would be, I'm not sure if it's clear, but yeah, that would be.
Yeah, so to read it back to you, you don't necessarily want to be the taskmaster in a harsh way, but you want to be able to get things done. How do you motivate and enroll basically a community around you to help build Psychotropic as a movement, because it is a movement, but it's also a business. So there's even you could hire people, right? So some people might be hired, some people might just be part of the movement, figuring out incentive structures for it, and how to make it into something bigger than just you and Juan Me. That sound about right?
Yes, especially when you added the part of structure, because I do want to inspire and I want it to be like good vibes, but also with structure and getting things done, of course. Not just, yeah.
So in terms of format here, you can ask clarifying questions. You can do it in the chat. Any of the attendees who are not on stage, Daniel, Hein, twice, Jeremiah, or Todd, if you want to ask Pape questions, you can ask clarifying questions or share experiences immediately on how to scale. Again, can you talk a little bit about Psychotropic in terms of what the brand is and what you're selling, who you're selling it to?
Yeah, so we sell apparel, but what we're building mostly is a community of, like, we call it conscious rebels. It's just people that are looking to have a more conscious life, that are open to challenging conversations and want to learn through each other by experiencing the trip of life, basically. That's it. So life is a trip. We'll have the same destination, different ways to get to it. And by sharing the trip of life, we'll learn a little from each other and we can reflect the path, basically. It's been 5 years building the brand. This year, finally, we got investment and we're in the process of scaling up, like getting more drops done, getting more designs done, and building the community. That is something that we haven't done that intentionally, and now we're doing it through social media, and like even this drop that is coming of t-shirts is getting the community involved. But the challenge that I'm seeing is that the amount of attention that you need to get one sale, it's a lot. It's a lot. You need a lot of traffic, and you need to be really like present in people. And for example, now we want to do we're in the process of hiring someone to do the Shopify and the web page again, because this was done 5 years ago by us, and now it needs to be like, it takes a lot to upload, and there's a lot of mistakes, and we want to fix that. But with that, it's like we're redoing the webpage. We're hiring a community manager. We're hiring an editor to edit videos. We need a graphic designer to help with posts and like with mockups and with all of that stuff. We need copy and we need basically everything, like mail as well. And it's not an option just to say you do one or two. No, in order to sell, like we need to do all of them. Like we need to attack every touch point the best way we can. That would be it.
It's basically the machine, the wheel. So you're putting out emails, putting out, campaigns, social media, uploading images, writing articles and posts, getting press. You have to build like this operation.
Yes.
Brian, you guys do this obviously for a living. You help brands grow. John, anybody who wants to jump in? Patricia, with any input,
I think Ava had something to say.
Ava.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say that well, I've been following Psychotropic for a long time and I've seen all the work you put in and I've seen all the growth already. And I see that your forte, Pape, is being connecting, being the artist, connecting with people, creating meaningful connections in general. And for example, I'm a person who not only consumes it in like physical, but also in like community member. And what I would say is that I didn't know at all that you guys needed help. So I think like that first step will be to kind of not say it like that, like, oh, we need help, auxilio. No, but like, kind of open up about, is anyone, like, not, I'm not saying like non-paid volunteers, but yes, about maybe there's someone who, creates events, or how can we unite that? I think communicating that you are in this stage and you want to step into the next stage with the community, it will be nice. Because for example, I would love to be part of it, but I'm always like, how am I going to be part of it? I feel like I don't see myself fitting in. Like, I'm like, I don't know if they need help. Like, I don't want to be annoying. And I think even coming from me, who's someone who's like kind of outgoing, I can't imagine someone who's kind of more shy, but wants to be part of it. And it will be interesting because I've seen some people create content that it's like super cool, but I don't know the behind the scenes of it. So it could be interesting to see who are the people that are already kind of jumping into making content or kind of want to always like be posting. And it always feels nice to get that message like, hey, we see you, like, thank you so much. Like, what are your passions? Like, do you like filming, or even exchange for something, or where we want to go to the beach and we'll pay, I don't know. I'm like throwing out some ideas, but in general, I see that you are so good at getting to the right people. That's what I...
Thank you for sharing that. That was
Thank you,
really great.
Ava.
The first step, if I summarize what you just said, the first step is asking for the help, like, hey, we're looking for, and then defining what it is that you need, whether it's help with content, whether it's volunteer or paid, like really just defining all the positions and all the things, potentially like an org chart you're saying of like, hey, here are all the people we need. That's really smart. And just putting it out into the community. I love that. Here's the company, here's the business. And that's something, Pape, that we could do. Like, we could do an org chart. I can help with that. And then we can make it so that it's also social media put outable, meaning like we could put the org chart in like Instagram or something like that. This is what we're looking to build. But any other ideas? I have some ideas on the business model that might be interesting. Patricia.
Oh yeah, building off what Ava said, like, remember when we had exercises with Jose before, like when he kind of like put the community together. So maybe a community exercise wherein you can like go in like a one space, meet each other. It's like a meetup, meeting people in person and just like doing it, just hanging out and producing something magical. I feel like that's one thing also to like, since everyone can meet in person now, we used to do it online, but I feel like it's a great idea to kind of get to know the community in person too.
I like that a lot.
Thank you,
So
but
meetups. Maybe a partnership between anyway, some other like people here in Panama, like Perreo Queer and Psychotropic present
yeah.
Perreo night.
I had a thought. I think, well, when I heard about, you don't want to be like cracking the whip or anything. From my own experience, I think finding the right team is kind of like when we're talking about trying to find, the tribe for your brand. You want to think about what is the tribe internally? Do they have the same beliefs you do? Do they have the same values that you do? If they're, in it just for themselves and not really wanting to be part of the mission or don't have the same vision as your why statement, like why you exist, why we're doing this. That's a great thing to think about is, when you meet up with the community, find out, why does this interest you? Why do you want to be a part of this? And see what they say. I can tell you from my own experience that we had some turnover in our agency, and it was from people who were kind of, they were there, clocking in and clocking out. So when we got the opportunity to retool, we looked at the process and said, we don't want to hire anyone. We want to find the right fit, the people who are excited about milestones, the people who are motivated to help you get to the next level because they believe in what you believe. So I think having the right conversation, asking the right questions, maybe can help, find the right fit so that there's consistent buy-in and motivation, and you're not feeling like you have to crack the whip, if that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And I would like to ask you if you have any other questions besides like, why do you want to be here? Do you have any other questions that could spark a good conversation? And is there anything you're looking for in the answers, or how do you assess like the interview process and what helps you drive your decision now?
That's a great question. Mine's a little bit different since it's like, we're looking for like SEO people, but I get it for like copywriters and things like that. I can't really remember off the top of my head. I just know this. I like to start questions that start with what, how, or why. By asking a question that says like are or is, it kind of forces like a close-ended question. And if the more conversation you can have, the more you'll be able to tell by their personality if it's the right fit. For example, I'll maybe ask, if we're interviewing for an SEO specialist, which we're going to be doing next week, I would ask them, how do you stay up to date? And if I don't hear anything that's like, I don't hear Neil Patel or anything like that, like if I'm not hearing somebody that I'm familiar with, or they can't answer that really, or you just kind of feel like you're getting the runaround, or they're just giving you a word salad, as I like to call it, maybe that's something you're like, uh-oh, so are they motivated themselves? And that kind of, is that like a red flag? I mean, it could be, I don't know, but it's something that I look for. So, maybe asking questions that can kind of figure out, are they like me? Are they motivated like me? Why, what gets you out of bed every morning to do this? To do what you do? That could be an idea. So I would just think about, what kind of interview questions can you ask that start with what, how, and why? And I think that could help.
Thanks,
Really
thanks
good.
a lot. Yeah, so to resume, like from what all the feedback that I've gotten, so from the first one is define the organizational chart for psychotropic. I think that's very important before asking for help. That was Ava's point, is like having a good organizational chart of what do I need, what position, what's the role and the job to be done, and then asking for help to the community, or even like offering the job, because I would love to pay, because I love to remunerate for work and not get it for free. Even if people offer, I would love to always give something back. But, and also with then connecting with what Pat said, would be like doing more community exercises and meetups to like start conversations, because it's true that I haven't been, we haven't done many events to be able to be close to people. I know there's people that really want to be part of the brand and get more and more involved. So that's something that it's on the process of being made. But first, there's systems that have to be involved to make that sustainable. And one thing that I heard from you, John, was like basically thinking more about the internal values before opening it up for people. So having a lot of clarity of what are our values and what we're looking for in people to work with. And then like having a great, like a lot of questions that can give me clarity on how to discover people are aligned with those values and can be driven to get on board with the mission. Those are the notes that I've taken so far. Thanks a lot for the feedback, everyone. Helps a lot.
Yeah, I'll share a little bit of primary experience, kind of going back to the beginning of having to scale my agency, which is not a product business. And even the product business, both the agency business and the product agency, we have a meeting with a community manager in 15 minutes. That's awesome. I'll be really fast on my thought. The questions at the beginning, it's like finding so one of the designers that we found early on when I was doing the agency, one of the first questions I asked him during the interview, so what do you want to do? Like what? And he wanted to have his own practice. So I said, okay, I will be completely transparent on all the how to run the agency stuff. And in exchange, we hired him. He out of school, he could have earned like $70,000 a year, and we were paying him like 45. So, and we gave him a raise over time, and he was amazing. He really helped set the foundation for the design quality that we had. So I always asked the designers like what they wanted to get out of it and what they wanted to learn. And we literally set a growth criteria, like a growth plan for that, and an out, like you would be done in 2 years, or you would be done in some 3 months, especially with the interns, which I started and they were paid hourly, like $15 an hour or something like that. I said, what do you want to learn here for the next 3 months from me? So I was running a school in my agency. And then that was the same thing that I did, when starting the school, is I had people who would join as apprentices and they got paid. Eventually they got paid. And I asked them what they wanted to do. One art center alum friend wanted to build a community of women, and I helped her do women's conferences, and she helped me set up all the e-commerce for the school and the beginning of core. The beginning of core, one was that Tatiana Luthi, actually is her name. She's an art center graphic designer. And then the other person that was instrumental at core was Nicole Johnson, who actually designed the first core kit, and who was an apprentice. She used to be a car mechanic and was studying user experience at General Assembly, and then came and did an apprenticeship with me. And I said, what do you want to get? She said, I want to be a master UX designer. And she did. We traveled together. I put her on projects that I was working, and she did the work, and paid her for that. 2 years of that, and then she got a job, and now she's a senior or head of UX for Rivian, the car company. Anyway, so the point is then I always ask the question, what do you want to get out of it? And then set a roadmap for it. The last thing I'll say is, Cariburst and like Ava is actually, you and Ava are actually the same person, different genders, but the same Leo energy. And whether it's doing actual like tactical work or helping you build community, I think there's something there here in Panama, like on the tangible level, especially with Caribeverse. But that's my share. Thank you for listening. I am complete. And we're at 150. Let's start. Leos, we be rocking. This room is on fire. Yeah, the summary of my technique for enrollment is basically, what do you want to get out of the time we work together? How long? And let's do a plan for it. So I built a school into everything I do. And maybe it's building the psychotropic school. All the kids that want to do e-commerce, you could also do an incentive. You're an affiliate, or like, hey, create content and here's an affiliate link, and you make money from helping us, right?
And so, something that we haven't mentioned, Jose, and I'm not sure if Hein is still listening, but yesterday, really, guys, I witnessed the most amazing design work that I've seen in my life. Like, this is the most systematic, precise, and clear document that I've ever seen in my life. And it really it showed me more than just the philosophy or mindset or culture, like having great tools to communicate all of this. It's crucial for growth. And I'm not sure, Hein, if you're there, it would be amazing to be able to show this to the community, because it really, something that I never had as when I did design work, was the ability to create documents or systems that allowed my clients to grow on their own, without depending. And that's something that I'm really looking forward to do. With all of this that we talked about, how can this be written in a document that I can then use to keep growing? Because now it's manageable. We can be 10 people, but let's say in 15 years, it's 900 employees, and then this conversation that we're having should keep happening as it grows. So yeah, that would be something that I really like. And I know you haven't seen it, and I hope you guys can see those systems, because it's amazing. Yeah, Juan Pape,
Pape, let's have Hein show his work at the next 4 office hours.
That would be amazing. I think that would be of a lot of value for the community, because it really, he also, Hein is thinking about doing a framework as core, and I think that would be a great introduction to get feedback from all of us, because that's great.
Great idea. So I'll ask him, and then the next 4 office hours in 2 weeks will be the Hein Hagelin super systemized Virgo edition.
Hey, Pape, what they said.
Okay.
They took all my things I was going to say. So good for you guys.
But summarize. Give us a summary view, Brian, before Pape.
Just document processes and things so that you can systematize, and in case there's any turnaround or churn, you don't have to onboard people or you have to onboard them, but you don't have to retrain them. Make videos of something that I've done is make videos of when you're instructing things. So if someone else comes in, you can show them a video of that thing. There's a bunch of things that you guys mentioned that I was going to say. I can't remember them all, but sharing your vision with the whole organization, so that the vision is crystal clear with them, and then that'll draw in like a magnet anyone who wants to support the vision in whichever way that they can help. They'll begin to offer. That's all I can remember right now, because I know you got to go. But
this is very valuable. Well, we can do the upload now, and that's extremely valuable even for me. So I'll start in terms of modeling the upload for today. And maybe it's an experiment of doing 1 hour instead of an hour and a half, since we're all crazy busy. I have a very stacked afternoon here in Panama City, which, you know, I have to be grateful to Pape, to the community here for receiving me, for hanging, for all the things. This is it. This is it right now, as we speak. This is it. We're doing it. There is no tomorrow. We're here. We're here. You know, and one of the things that I want to keep on vision-wise pushing towards is the next level is for us to become founders of a new world, right? Like Papa is starting, it's not starting, is doing and growing his own fashion brand. And to me, that's an inspiration. You know, it's not services, it's not, you know, it's a message, it's a religion, it's a culture. It's what I call a millennial mushroom cult that I am really proud to even just hang with. So the upload is, for me, one of the most valuable things I got today was that last thing that Brian said. You know, I've been kind of trying to rack my brain and had a conversation with Todd yesterday. I'm just feeling like I'm always a big vision guy. What's the vision and what we're doing? And you know, there's the tactical stuff that needs to get done. But from a weird, Lorraine just texted me, you know, some feedback. You know, she's like, you're such a, whatever she said, right? You're such a great leader or a great speaker, inspiring. I'm like, you know, that's my gift, right? The inspiration part. And Pape, you're like a madman, right? So having that like manifesto, that vision, that mission, be very clear, and then asking it at events or whatever it might be, it's actually a really important part of it. So for me, it's like, I go from there. Oh, this is the vision we're doing. However, you know, hairy and audacious it might be, having clarity around that for everybody and getting excited about that, that's what I do. And then how do you co-create and share that when you're working with multiple people so that everyone is excited about the vision? And in my case, I have to take responsibility for it, meaning like it's what I do, and I should push it forward and, like, you know, articulate it and be clear and communicate and not be afraid to communicate who I am and what I believe in. That's something that for me, I get out of today's session. So I'm going to pass the upload to Pape, since you have to go, and you were the one who was getting the answers. What's your upload? And then you can go and everybody else can kind of summarize.
My upload would be that it's nice to have this community always. And I think that it's good that it keeps happening. And when I come back after a lot of time, people are still hanging out, and it's a great place to get feedback and get a better assessment of what's going on right now in my life, because it really helps a lot to have all the different point of views. And right now I'm going to meet with someone that I'm hiring, and I go with a lot of clarity. So that's amazing. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, you know, I'm almost thinking, and Todd said something yesterday about this, you know, I'm almost thinking that weekly, even if everyone doesn't show up and we make it an hour and it's weekly at the end of the week, it might be a good way to weave like everything that's happening and like close the week. So pass it on to somebody like Patricia. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Pape. Today was really energizing for me. I feel like every time I go back and just sharing the space with everybody, I feel like everyone has their own gifts to share, and just to kind of have this freedom to express ourselves and to kind of come up with what you said, Jose, like crazy big ideas. And I don't know, it's just really energizing to be in this room, and I'm so happy. Thank you, everyone, for this conversation. It was really, really wonderful. I call on Ginder.
Gender.
Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful for the creative global community, and I love the energy and the vibes, and it's an amazing connection here. It's just like the world is represented here, and I love that because I'm from Birmingham. There's always been a melting pot, and it's just nice to see that. Sometimes some of the workplaces I've been, it's not as the mix isn't there, and it's nice to see that whole mix coming here, and the creativity and your stories are amazing. So it's nice to see you at different timelines as well. So yourself, Patricia, and Pepe's amazing journey, like seeing the vision at different stages. It's amazing. My mind is blown. Thank you. And I picked John.
Thank you, Ginger. Yeah, this was a great talk today. I was happy to see people trying to live out what they want to do. And I think it's great to have a community that supports everyone and bounces ideas off of each other so they can avoid pitfalls. So I think it was great that we had a talk about culture and what that means to people, because I think here you can see everybody is like-minded. So I think if we were all in one agency, I think we'd be churning out pretty damn good work. But because we're all bought in on the same system, if you will. I will pick Brian.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I agree. I think that's part of the mission of the system is to, get people who share common values and who want to, make the world a better place. But I took away a similar thing, which is, sometimes, I do it myself sometimes, and I'm sharing, with you guys to, put the vision out there, and that's something I help other people do, but I don't do it as much for my own business or for myself. So it's something that I need to work on as well, for me. But I think taking Pat's idea and running with it, I think because this is so energizing, I think we should move this to Monday, and then Friday just use to vent. I'm kidding. Vent frustrations for the week. No, just kidding.
Meaning you could set your intention to Monday. It's crazy, dude. You're talking crazy talk, but it might be an interesting way of like moving the agenda of all the things that are happening, including the system. Meaning,
I'm just guessing because if it does have this re-energizing effect, which it does, at least for us, and if other like-minded people are going to join, then you could do a few tests.
Every 2 weeks, Monday is the beginning, then we check in the second Friday. So instead of doing Friday, it's actually Monday, the next one is Friday, Monday, the next one is Friday. It's 4 meetings, but one is on Monday, 2 are on Monday, 2 are on Friday. It's like sprints.
That's a good analogy. Yeah.
I'm liking what you're laying down, Brian. I'm liking what you're laying down. And we hold Papa accountable. We hold me accountable. We're basically saying this is what we're doing this week for each other. It's like a mastermind, basically.
Yes, accountability.
Charge for that.
Yeah. Well,
Even just for like 30 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah,
like
30 minutes. What are you working on this week? What are you excited about? Drop in, boom, boom, boom. Keep it fresh.
I like it. Not just because I said it, but it's a good idea.
Thank you. No. You're giving me some really good ideas. Pick someone. Who's left? I mean, everyone's gone. Ginger's gone. Ava and John are the only ones left on stage.
Can you hear me? Okay, Ava, there you go.
My upload for the day, I think it was the importance of not staying just in your bubble or in your home or like the comfort of your home, and actually expand your community of like a more local, also like, well, I'm really good at online, I guess, but going out and actually doing it, I think that holds a lot of power. And I think it's creating a community. It's all about being present. And sometimes we see it as like, oh, my job is to build a community and I gotta do all these things for these people. at least for me, where I've always been kind of like, I don't want to take care of a community, and like slowly things are being like coming towards me, like maybe because I'm looking at it the wrong way, you know. And naturally I'm a person who likes to build relationships, so I really take that from Patricia, because I was like, you know what, yes, why not just like hanging out? Why doesn't my mind building a community have to be like this whole event that's gonna drain me to death? Like it doesn't have to be like that. So I'm reprogramming myself to building actually meaningful connections. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Ava. That's beautiful. Last but not least, I think is John.
Oh, I went already.
You did? Okay, so that's it. So I pulled 2 Osho cards yesterday, and it was Celebrate Creativity. And I just wanted to read, to close us out, the creativity card. If you're not familiar with Osho, Zen Tarot from Osho, it's pretty amazing. Creativity is the quality that you bring to the activity that you're doing. It is an attitude, an inner approach. I'm going to lower the volume here of the amazing Sueño in Paraguay music. Creativity is the quality of what you bring to the activity that you are doing. It is an attitude, an inner approach, how you look at things. Not everyone can be a painter, and there's no need also. If everyone is a painter, the world will be very ugly. It will be difficult to live. And not everyone can be a dancer, and there is no need, but everybody can be creative. Whatsoever you do, if you do it joyfully, if you do it lovingly, if your act of doing is not purely economical, then it is creative. If you have something growing out of it, within you, if it gives you growth, it is spiritual, it is creative, it is divine. You become more divine as you become more creative. All the religions in the world have said that God is the creator. I don't know whether he is the creator or not, but one thing I know, the more creative you become, the more godly you become. When your creativity comes to a climax, when your whole life becomes creative, you live in God with a capital G. So she must be the creator, because people who have been creative have been closest to her. Love what you do. Be meditative while you're doing it, whatsoever it is. Love me, Osho. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Like and subscribe. Remember to check out Core 3.0 at coreismagic.com. Next week, if we get Hein to say yes, we will have an amazing presentation. And yeah, we are the system.
Happy weekend.
Happy
Ciao.
weekend. Thank you, Brian, for the idea. I'm gonna workshop it, see if we can do Monday, Friday.
All I did was bring together what everyone else said, and it just kind of assimilated into one
Where's
thing.
the like button? There is no like button. Bye, everybody.
Bye.